Rock climbing, a simple but creative sport, keeping the human body in shape, an amazing form of entertainment, an amazing form of enjoyment.
I got into rock climbing through the Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme, and I just found it exhilarating. As a 12-year-old, I found it exhilarating and just kept going. That was it. Found a passion, kept going.
How did it become your career?
Okay, it became my career because after I'd finished my Duke of Edinburgh's award, I got asked by the instructors if I wanted to pursue that as voluntary, helping them out. And it just led on to gaining my qualifications, looking for a career in it, and then expressing the interest and continuing within that industry.
Do you think climbing has become more popular recently or over the last few years?
Definitely, yeah. Climbing is becoming more popular now because it's more accessible. If you go back 10 years, there was only maybe 40 climbing walls in the UK. Now you've got 190 that are accessible by anybody. So climbing has become more accessible than gymnasiums. So more families are getting involved. So definitely it's become more accessible.
Is the best age to start climbing?
As soon as possible, to be honest. My children started when they were 2 and 4. They started climbing and are carrying on. It's just down to the parents and looking after them because of their limbs, growth plates, but the earlier the better.
The best place to do climbing or bouldering in the southwest of England?
Initially, I'd like to say here at the Key Climbing Centre, but outdoors, there's so much of the southwest that's been unexplored. The cliffs, Dartmoor, so much have been unexplored. So if someone was to ask me a specific area, I'd head out to Dartmoor, but I'd also head down to the cliffs of Cornwall, Tintagel, around there, because there's so many places that haven't been climbed yet.
What does climbing mean to you?
A two-pronged question. Climbing means to me, firstly, it's a business. So to me, it means promoting my business and making sure that myself and my staff have a wage. Secondly, climbing to me means it's a hobby, and I'm lucky enough to have a job that's also my hobby. If you took climbing away, I wouldn't be so enthusiastic about running a climbing centre, to be honest. So it's part of my life now.
If you were going to tell someone who has just heard of climbing and wants to go at it, what would your tips and hints be to them?
Ask the right questions when you first start climbing. Go with people that know what they're doing, and go with an idea that you may or may not enjoy it.
So when I was younger, I moved down to Cornwall and went to Exeter College, and I guess we just did a bunch of different activities, and one of the instructors there was just incredibly passionate and very inspiring, and through that we just demonstrated how cool rock climbing can be, and yeah, got into it, get going.
How did you get a career here?
Well, so through through going to Exeter College, it was all about becoming an outdoor instructor, and I worked in an outdoor centre in Devon for a short period, well, a while. Eventually, I managed to work my way into working with a local climbing centre, the Barn Climbing Centre, and progressed through there, and I've just started here.
How did you get into a career with climbing?
I got made redundant from my old job, so I had a load of cash, thought I'd do something which didn't involve money. I did it for a bit of fun. So yeah, I basically started the wall I used to climb at. They just happened to be looking for someone as I got made redundant, and they put me through all my qualifications. That's how I got into it.
Do you think climbing has become more popular recently or over like a certain amount of years?
It's definitely become more popular. I think over the last 5 years or so, it's become more popular, but it's kind of a ever increasing sort of scale.
Do you think climbing is a good way to keep fit and healthy?
No, look at me now. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's mainly like strength to weight ratio, so most people will lose weight as they do it. And it's because it's quite active, it keeps you doing it, as opposed to going to a gym where people tend to get bored of it. It tends to challenges the mind as well, so people get more hooked on it and do more, so I think so.
What does climbing mean to you?
It's kind of a lifestyle for me, so it's mainly what I do. It's also my work now, I guess. But I mean, every trip I do, every time I go on holiday, it always revolves around climbing. And most of my friends climb as well, so it's pretty much a lifestyle, I guess.
If someone has just heard of climbing and they want to have a go at it, what would you tell them? What would your tips be to them?
Just go down to your local wall, I guess. It's the easiest way to get into it. Everyone's running courses nowadays, so it's quite easy to get involved. Or if you know people that climb, just get them to take you out.